Hey, what is up guys, it's your boy Tway here. This will be a video on Shak 7. Now, we made it, ladies and gentlemen. Chase in the building, the man's 100 grand, and in this video I will go over my team, but I will also go over to some suggestions, tips, tricks that I found along the way of clearing the whole thing. Now, just to get us started, let me note a little bit of a buffer which will help people out if you know what to do. So at the bottom you see Angina's protection. Now we all started out with attack speed and mana reduction. After I killed Big Shak, after doing 100 helmets, this changed. And to me, for the better, because currently I got myself the melee heroes, extra damage, some lifesteal extra, well that doesn't apply to Chase anyway, and the ranged characters get more HP and healing rate. So that is pretty good. That also means that if I kill it 100 times more, chances are I may not be able to do Shak 7 anymore. So you still have to improve, but that is something to keep in mind. First off, let's go over some basics. You need to kill these waves as fast as possible. The totems give attack speed and healing reduction, which means that if you reach the boss on super high stacks, chances of you dying will be really high. Reason why? Shakmeh is doing more damage on people who have a lower attack speed, which then comes to another tip. Get yourself characters that will allow you to get more attack speed. Now healers can stack up attack speed with the T2 perks, but Lucius, Audi and May will be able to give you an extra. Last tip, defense doesn't work, so stack yourself HP and P block and P toughness. As for some characters that I believe that everybody should be getting, whether it be physical or magical damage, first off is Rahartna. Now she is very good because she increases healing rate up to 50%, so everybody will be healing, and she amplifies crit damage and increases a boss damage as well. Next S tier character would be Frey. Now if your healing rate is getting decreased, guess what's gonna save you? A massive shield. So that is something super insane. I heard that if you get a 500k attack Frey, Shakmeh 7 isn't even able to do damage to you, regarding of the situation, which is insane. May is another character that you would want to have in a team. Reason why: S1 is able to stack more attack speed on your characters, and as said, attack speed is very necessary on this mode. If you don't have Lucius, for instance, you could change that up. As for your damage dealers, in all fairness, you want to have characters that do a massive amount of AoE damage. As said, if you clear the first wave faster, Shakmeh himself is not going to be that big of a deal because he will do way less damage. First character that I believe is the best one for this mode would be Pansy Roan. She has the ability to deep fry not only the AoE monsters but Shakmeh himself as well. And a personal preference is I would pair her with Audi for that special deep fry. Second off is gonna be Cleo. From what I've heard, there are people on the Taiwanese server that just breeze through this content with the A220 Cleo. Now next one would be Zara. Now she is made for this stage. The fact that she is able to drain mana but also output a lot of damage is super insane. There are already videos out on YouTube where she is out dealing damage on Esker, which is also an honorable mention, on A220. Which means that Zara is definitely putting out some damage. Now Esker, I would mention him here as well, but he needs a big startup to do his damage, so you would need to pair him with something like Audi. As for the warriors, I've heard that Theo is able to do it, Chase is obviously able to do it, and that is due to the T2 Warlike perk, which on more enemies grants you more attack buffs. Next up is a gimmick with the mana depletion. This is necessary because if Shakmeh right now has a lot of mana and he would do any of the massive skills, chances are I will die instantaneously. So that's why you need a mana depletion. Now let me give you a big list of characters that you can think about. First off, underused character, Visca on her S4 will decrease mana 300 on every single skill that she does. And her S3 is spammable, so as a supporter on the first few waves she is really good, making her a super low investment character with a big cap. Yuno will drain mana on S2 Hell, and if you do have 2 stacks, that is 2 mana bar depletion. Nikki's unique weapon gradually increase in mana drain. So if you get it to a very high unique weapon, this mana drain is insane. Audie's unique treasure 1, same story, but then on a very short cooldown. So high investment, high reward. Requeena's S1 blocks mana, so whenever Shakmeh is doing swords to the ground, then he will not be getting any. As for Lucius, UT2, if you increase it, more mana drain will be coming up to 2 bars on a 5-star. Last but not least, we got Luck Rock on S1 Dark, draining 700 mana on 7 seconds. As for the last part, let's go over a fight. And what we need is we need that mana bar to 0 constantly. Because if I do, I deal more damage, because the higher the bar is, the more P block that he has, and the more damage that he will do with the swords to the ground, this one. And if he does, less mana equals he will gain more mana once again. Fun fact, Nikki's S1 will deplete all of his blocking for his X amount of seconds, meaning I do way more damage. Now if I stun him, however, that is a good factor, because then you will deal a little bit more damage as well, and it allows you to keep reducing the mana, because he's not able to do the swords to the ground, because right now he does it and you can deplete it once again. So having him stunned is good. Downside is, if you stun him multiple times, he will get stronger anyway, because he gets stacks on top of stacks. Well, he's still gonna die. Don't fuck with me. Just get it. It's okay, we got Chase in the building. He doesn't care, woman. As for the characters, let's get it poppin'. First off, man's 100 grand. Chase in the building. Now, I recently got myself booked at a mad 5-star, and these are the perks that I'm using. Obviously, Warlike perk, because there's a lot of enemies that I want to beat. And because I want to clear the waves as fast as possible, I'm not going for S1 Dark. I'm going for T5 Dark, which allows me to do just about whatever. Moving on to another favorite character of mine, Nikki. Reason why: a lot of P damage increase and mana reduction. Really insane. And if you can spam the S2 with this unique treasure, it's absolutely good. As well, for the perks, currently I'm trying to let her do as much damage as she possibly can, outside of the fact that she is still using her PvP gear. If I would change that up to Dark Legion Priscilla gear, we may actually be able to do more damage. The artifact that I'm using is a Solar Stone, because if these things heal, the fight is gonna take longer. So this is something that you need to use. Lowman, also PvP gear, something that I can change. Reason why I pick Lowman is, well, he has physical damage amplification, really good. I actually want to have him to frontward tank. Reason for that: the last gatekeeper, if you get stacked, if you block, then you can get endurance stacks, and that means 20% extra damage reduction. If you have a 100% uptime on this, guess what? You're not dying. That's something good. These are the perks that I'm using, TP95, and the reason why I don't take this is because it's on Glenwiz. So moving on to Glenwiz, she has super optimized gear. I'm a little proud of this. Look at this HP coming out, just ridiculous. The P block that I'm having is super high, because I just don't want her to die. And I got some P block defense that is coming out, so if I do block, I get an additional damage reduction coming with this. Perks that I'm using, really good. And an item that still needs optimization. Reason why I picked this P defense in, even though it doesn't make any sense in the newest content, I want to have a front tank. So at some point I will switch this gear out for Lowman's, allowing Lowman to frontward tank with this P defense. Next up, Lucius. Now Lucius is one of those characters that I just dubbed as useless. I still love the dude because all of his skills look ridiculous, and the items that I put in this dude are the attack speed, crit, and HP that you can actually get as a newer player. So it is really good. Reason why I pick it, I want to have him on a lot of attack speed. Reason why I use this is because the Sorcerer's Black Dagger has attack speed, mana reduction capability. So the higher you get this one, the easier Shakmeh becomes. This used to be a useless artifact. Right now, This is the best artifact for Shakmeh. There is not one that is better. As well as with Lucius, you get attack speed increase, which is useful, and non-hero damage increase. It can't get this build, unfortunately. And then you have the S2 unique treasure, which also depletes mana and to a big factor. So if you get this one to maximum, it is 4 seconds, which means there are 2 mana bars that are getting depleted. So this is something super useful. Also one of the reasons why I picked Lucius. Yuno is another one, PvP gear. I will get to the Dark Legion in a little bit, but reason why I pick Yuno is for not just healing capacities. For the people that don't know, on S2 Hell, if you get 2 stacks, you get 2 bars of mana reduction. If you don't have the 2 stacks, however, you get 1 bar of mana reduction. So Yuno actually has capabilities further than just healing here. Perks that I'm using is this. I needed a little bit of overcritting, and extra attack speed is always good for this boss. So that is my Yuno. Going on to Raccoon Dog. Now Raccoon Dog is amazing here. Reason why I pick him, because Book of the Mad on Chase makes it so that my S2 doesn't always pop or doesn't pop up fast enough. So for that reason, I pick Raccoon Dog on these perks, having some attack reduction, extra damage increase, and if I would get another unique treasure, if I get unique treasure 1, that would be an extra mana depletion onto 7 seconds. That is something to note. I want him to survive, so what I did, I put like a insane amount of P toughness on him, so to make sure that he survives. And then for the very last character, one of the best for this mode, and that is Rahard. Now reason why she's really good, there was a question on my stream like, why does this make her good? Because of the S4. Now just to read it out, Battle March Melody, at the beginning of each battle, heals HP, great, and heals rate by 10%. So if you do 5 waves, you get 50% healing rate increase. So that means that the stacks that you get during the whole run will get diminished a little bit by the healing rate. Obviously, if you don't clear it fast enough, the healing rate will just diminish by a whole lot, and then you will not do any healing. Now, heal rate boost effect, blah, 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 and everything is good. Okay, now this doesn't make it insanely good, right? But for every single stack on T4 Dark, you get crit damage on all allies, which means that my Chase is getting 60% extra crit rate right now while just going to the boss. But if you get the UT4, you get extra bossing damage. Now currently, do this times 5, that is 26% bossing damage extra. That is insane. So this is a very monstrous character for this game mode as of yet. Now that is it for the team. Hope you guys enjoyed this. But for now, this is Twebu. Peace!